Hey guys, not only is this my first what? Sorry, I was thinking For Honor there, but my first Dying Light video that I actually posted. But this is more of a not serious one. This is kind of like just me punching out zombies and stuff and everything with my fists. Um, if you think I'm doing it for the XP, you're wrong. You guys can do that. 'Cause punching, but that's just not a significant source of XP that I would want to waste so much time on. You guys definitely can. It's up to you. It's just I found it funny, like, and I was using commentary by myself when I was recording some of this, and I was just trying to make it seem really funny. But For Honor, it looks like a really fun game. It really does, especially the 2v2s. Like, that's pretty sick. Multiplayer 2v2, that was so much fun. It looked like a lot of fun. And I did make another video tonight, but after I rewatched it, because I have to rewatch my footage because I mess up so much. I have to make sure it's all good before I post it. I just realized it was just stupid. It was just stupid. I can't post that. If you guys want a stupid video, you can say so. I'll post it. But don't expect it to be a good one. I just think I'll just delete it. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I was making that video. I obviously wasn't thinking very much. I never am really thinking. Today in gym class, I was actually using badminton, and it was a 2v2 in badminton. And yeah, every time he served it up, it just came over the net, and I just tapped it a little bit just so it would go just over the net on their side. And he kept making him so mad. I'm sorry. It's just so much fun. Not to make people mad in a serious way, but to make them mad in a funny way like that. That's how I love making people mad. But I'm not like a jerk. I'm just like trying to be a funny jerk. Like he wasn't actually mad. He was just he was annoyed. Like, stop being a little punk. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know he wasn't serious. He's a friend of mine. And it was just funny. And we were playing like monkey in the middle of badminton. I know you think I'm a little kid saying some of this stuff, but he was in the middle, and I kept purposely just barely tapping it to hit him in the back because he didn't have enough time to turn around in time. Some of the times, I promise you, I did not hit it hard enough to actually hurt it all, just for it to just touch him. And it was so much fun because I used to be so good at badminton. I was in badminton club and everything. Then I started sucking again, and the person who was training me to do good in badminton originally, like when I was in grade 7 or something, when I started getting into it, I actually ended up beating her and somehow getting better than her by the time grade 8 came along. But then in grade 9, I barely played. In grade 10, I started playing a lot more. In grade 11, I did. Grade 12, I'm back into it now. And I just love it. I remember being in badminton club, and I went and bought a nice fancy racket from Sports Check or something like that. It was just a lot of fun, and I spent like $40 on it, but it was worth it to me. I just love badminton. It's really fun. I really like hockey, and I know you think stereotypical Canadian regular. I don't ever say A. Do you ever hear me say A? I'm talking to you guys like I normally talk to people, and I don't normally say A. That's just, I don't hear anyone really say that. It's probably just as common anywhere else because I don't, that would seem weird if someone was talking like that. I'm not saying I have anything against them, it's just I don't ever hear something like that. That's just weird. And yeah, in my video yesterday, I had some Clash Royale going on. It was blurry, and I messed around with my computer a lot, or my mom's computer, sorry, to see if I could start actually getting Clash Royale to just stream like just raw footage instead of like me holding up the other iPhone to record it. But I just can't get it to work, and it's just upsetting me, so I'm just gonna stop right now and record you guys a video like this. I never had a Dying Light one, so it'll see you guys' perspective on my Dying Light one. I actually gained what, two subscribers over the night over my Mortal Kombat videos. So you guys obviously like Mortal Kombat videos, and I did promise you some more, so I'm really happy about that. And I will get more for you, and I will try and get more of my friends to play Mortal Kombat with me. Noah definitely wants to. Cameron does. I have a few other people that just don't have it downloaded. They bought it and everything. They just don't have it downloaded. So I promise you guys, unless I die or like get some weird some medical disorder or something happen to me, I should get another Mortal Kombat video out. I can't guarantee it because who knows what's gonna happen, but in all of reality, it probably will be one of my next videos. And Clash Royale seems to be pretty big for you guys too. The new cards coming out, if you think I should talk about them, I get the Mega Minion. I bought actually a stack of them in the store, a stack of gems of the Mega Minion, and have it to level 6 like most of my other rares, which the Mega Minion's really good. It's low in health, but it does a lot of damage, and it's really good to counter a lot of things. It's pretty good. And I know you guys are like, I wouldn't put the Minion Horde down on a Lava Hound, but that's actually the perfect counter, the Minion Horde, because the Lava Hound doesn't pop and like blow up afterwards. So you can just shred the Lava Hound if they don't have something to take out the Minion Horde. I mean when the pups pop, they don't do splash damage. It doesn't seem like they do. They shoot really fast and stuff and everything, but it melts the pups too, and I think they need to buff the Lava Hound, honestly. For a legendary, it's kind of sucky. I think they should change it to either cost 6 elixir or buff it, because it just, for only 45 damage at level 1, I mean, you're probably not going to get level 2 for a very long time. So, I mean, yeah, it has a lot of health, but it's not worth it compared to stuff that you can just put down the shred it for only 45 damage, and it targets a tower, which is pretty good. But then the lava pups don't target the tower, they target anything. The lava pups are really good. I normally rage them. They can be taken out pretty easy with arrows and stuff, but I think the Lava Hound needs a serious buff. I really do. I think the P.E.K.K.A. I think is all good. The only thing about the P.E.K.K.A. that I think should be buffed is that I think the P.E.K.K.A. should actually swing faster. And I know a lot of you are being like, what? It does so much damage. Why would you think that at all? It's because if you pay attention to it, she dies pretty quick if you know how to counter her. She gets distracted very easily. So all you need to do is put a couple things down. She just doesn't hit them fast enough, and she gets like melted by skeletons, it appears. The skeleton army absolutely melts her, which she's 7, that's only 4. And yeah, you should have arrows to take that out as well, the skeleton army. But I mean, it's just, I think she needs a little bit of some form of a buff to make her better. If it's not hit faster or something like that, maybe movement speed, like overall movement speed. But the Lava Hound definitely needs a buff. The Dark Prince is pretty good, but he seems to be a little bit low on health. But yeah, I'm not going to complain about him. He seems pretty good as he is. Oh crap, sorry, my controller just fell. And if my volume is messed up right now, don't worry, I'm going to change it. You guys won't even hear it being messed up because I actually am going to change it in the settings beforehand. So that's why it sounds better. And this is a new microphone I have not think I used before. Sorry, someone's Skyping me. I don't know who it is. So was up there. What? So was up there. I don't even know who that is, and he sent me some weird message. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, Clash Royale. I mean, the King's Tower does do less damage, which, does that make sense to you guys? I mean, I don't care. Like, it can stay as it is. I'm just saying, wouldn't you expect the King Tower to do more damage, though? That's what I would think. I'd think the King Tower would do more damage. But it's alright. I mean, I'm just saying, it does have a pretty plenty pile of health. I'm opening the chest here. I got giant skeletons. Ooh, I mean, not skeletons, goblet. And I actually got a lightning spell. I mean, I don't use lightning, but it's always good to have an extra epic to help you out. Just donating some elixir pumps here. They like requesting. And there's actually another lightning in the shop. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to spend 2,000, sorry. And then it's just cannons and elixir collectors in the shop. I don't really care about. I actually have 120 gems. I can actually do some. I can either do 16 classic challenges or 1 grand challenge for 100 gems. But yeah, out of all these cards, The bowler, yeah, I'm really happy that they changed that to 6 because he's pretty good, but he seems to. I mean, I think that maybe he should throw a little bit faster. But I'm not here to complain. I'm going to talk about the ones that I really think that actually legit need an actual buff or be nerfed, and I'll tell you why. The Princess is pretty good. Princess is good as it is. Minor, I mean, Minor's pretty good. I mean, because he's only 3, right? It's just maybe he needs a little bit more health considering how he gets distracted. I think he should, since you're like throwing him out there, he needs a little bit more health. But I think they actually recently nerfed that. The Lumberjack does an insane amount of damage. If they're not targeting the Lumberjack, because he is pretty weak and dies fast, then he's gonna do some serious work. And the Lumberjack, I think, is perfect right now. He's just perfect. I love the Lumberjack. He seems really, really good. The Sparky is really good if you know how to use it, but I recommend Zap, Inferno Tower, or just swarms of things to take it out. Preferably anything air that can target it, because it does do splash damage and can take out a skeleton. It won't take out an entire skeleton army. That would just be crazy. Luckily, it doesn't. The Law got the buff it needed. It does push back all ground troops, which I think is fair, because if a P.E.K.K.A. or something is just sitting there hitting your tower, all you're doing is doing a little bit of damage with the log, and that seems a little bit worthless. It did knock back other stuff, but it does have the change it needed, and I think it is a perfect card now too. The Ice Wizard slows a little bit too much, I think, but I'm not going to talk. The Ice Wizard seems pretty good. Ice Spirit's really good. Can't talk about the Inferno Dragon, the Graveyard, or the Ice Golem, because I don't know about them yet. The Golem, I think the Golem needs a serious buff, and this is why. For 8 elixir, I mean, yeah, you can use him properly, but his explosive damage that for when he dies needs to increase or something, because there's something not good enough about him to want to use him, because he does cost 8, so you'd think you'd want to use him a lot better. Yeah, like I said before, the P.E.K.K.A. I think should just swing faster. I mean, it does 600 damage, 617 damage for my level 3 P.E.K.K.A. So, I mean, hit speed is 1.8 seconds. I think it should be buffed to at least 1.5, at least minus 0.3 seconds. A little bit, just a little bit. That would be much better, and not too much crazy better. The mortar, I think, just sucks because, I mean, yeah, it does splash damage, but it shoots too slow. Even though it can target a tower, I think the mortar is perfect if it can just shoot faster. The giant skeleton is perfect as he is. The balloon seems really good as it is. I'm going to talk about more of the main ones. I think the guards need a little bit more health, not on the shields. Their shields have pretty good health, but their basic health is way too low. I think their actual health needs to at least be buffed a little bit per thing. The mirror seems really good. The baby dragon is pretty good. But, I mean, honestly, I think the baby dragon either needs a little bit more damage, a little bit more health. I think it needs a little bit more health and a little bit more damage. And that should be good for the baby dragon. Not too much, but I mean, like, it seems a little bit too weak. That's why. The barbarian hut costs 7 and does pretty good, but I think the barbarian hut is pretty good. The rocket is really good, except I think it should do more crown tower damage for 6, only doing 400 at level 6. It only does 448 crown tower damage. I mean, don't change the damage it does on area damage, because 1,120, that's crazy good. I think it should change. They should make it do a little bit more crown tower damage. So I know you guys probably disagree. That's what I think about it. Honestly, I think they made a mistake changing the skeletons to 3. I mean, they should have stuck it at 4. I mean, at 4, like, they're skeletons. They get, like, one shot by anything, basically. I mean, they're skeletons. They get one shot by anything. Unless you're, like, level 13 skeletons and you're, like, a level 7, the skeleton should die. The only time I've ever seen a skeleton survive is when I had my level 3 skeleton army go against, like, a level 1 skeleton army. My skeleton survived 2 hits. And that's because skeletons do the exact same amount of damage as you do hit points. So if your skeletons are higher level than their skeletons, I think that's the only way that it really seems that they'll survive, because a lava hound does no damage at all. But I mean, the lava hound doesn't even target them. The zap, I think they made a mistake changing. I mean, the stun duration, why would they? I mean, it wasn't crazy overpowered before. Why would they change the stun duration to 0.5? I think that was a mistake. I mean, the rage seems pretty good, and it's really good that they changed it to 2. That seems a lot better now. But the only thing is, I mean, they definitely did good taking away some of the duration to 6.5 seconds. It was, I think, 8.5 seconds. Now it's 6.5. I think the boost should at least be 35. I mean, they decreased its boost a little bit too much. It does do pretty good, but I think it just seems a little bit weak now. But it is only 2 elixirs, so I can't complain. But and the spirit goblins, I mean, they don't seem to do. I think like they only do half the damage that a regular goblin does. Basically, a little tiny bit less than half the damage. But I think they should do a little bit more damage than they do. They are pretty good, but I mean, they should do a little bit more damage, I would say. It's alright. The knight seems really good as it is. And the last one, I think... Okay, I'll talk about... Yeah, there's a few more here. The wizard's really good, except I think his health is a little bit too low. But he is pretty overpowered, but for 5 elixir, I think he should at least have 700 hit points for being level 6. He only has 544. I mean, a little buff like that makes cards that much greater without them being overpowered, right? The Inferno Tower is pretty good. The Furnace, I mean, does release 2 Fire Spirits, but I think the Fire Spirits, I don't know, I just think the Furnace might, I don't know what to say about the Furnace. I'm just going to leave it at that. The Tombstone, everyone's saying the Cannon is the only one that's a positive elixir trade with the Hog Rider, but honestly, I think the Tombstone's way better than the Cannon against the Hog Rider, because it only costs 3. It slowly releases skeletons to attack the Hog Rider, or a defensive, the troop that only goes for a building, right? And then he's going to go for the Tombstone if you put it in front of him, right? And then he's going to burst that, which is going to make 4 more skeletons come out and do a crazy more amount of damage, because he does not target them. I mean, it's just way too good, and no one really sees that. I don't understand why. But the Royal Giant, I know a lot of you are like, thank you for nerfing him. But honestly, I think they nerfed his hit speed to 1.7 was a little bit too much. I mean, they nerfed him a little bit. Like, when they nerf, they don't nerf... They nerf a little bit off. Like, I think he should do a little bit more hit speed. I mean, I don't use him, but it's just, when he goes against me, it still just doesn't seem like they did enough for 6 elixir. I mean, but... I mean, the Giant just seems like a much better card, and he's melee. I don't think that's a little bit right, but that's alright. The Bomber, they changed the Bomber so that he had a little bit more health and did a little bit less damage. They gave him, no wait, was it a little bit less health and a little bit more damage, or I don't know, but it's still, I think the Bomber's health is a little bit too high, but then I can't say it is. It's totally confusing, because the Prince at certain levels, like my level 3 Prince doesn't one-shot a level 9 Bomber when he's running at it. That doesn't, I don't really, he goes over and he attacks the Bomber, and the Bomber takes 2 swings. I don't really think that's fair for the amount of damage that the Bomber does. The Bomber is insanely damaging in splash damage. I think the prince should be able to one-shot it, don't you? But it's alright, I'm not going to complain. The Tesla is really overpowered if you use it correctly, because you can't hit it when it goes under the tower, and when it pops up, it just absolutely shreds the mini P.E.K.K.A. and regular P.E.K.K.A. It absolutely shreds the P.E.K.K.A. and mini P.E.K.K.A. Do you see how much damage it does on Clash of Clans and this? It just shreds it, and I don't think that's fair, honestly. I think it hiding and the damage it does already is good enough. I don't think it should do like extra damage to the P.E.K.K.A. I don't really find that fair. But it doesn't matter because I don't really use any of that stuff very often anyways. The cannon, I just think the cannon should do a little bit less damage and have like 1/3 more health, and the cannon would seem more fair. But it does only target ground. But that's my perspective. I think it should be more of a like the giant, like a sponge. Soak up the damage. I think that's more what it should be for. But it doesn't matter. I'm not the creator of this game. And the last one that I would say definitely needs a buff that most of you probably disagree on is the archers. The archers cost 3, but honestly, I think they need I mean, they do seem a little good, but they don't seem good enough at all. I think they need to do more damage. They need to do... For 3 elixir, I mean, the knight is just a way better choice, and he's melee. I mean, like, the mega minion also costs 3. I mean, there's so many other 3 cards that are just the minions. Like, I think the archers need to have a tiny bit more health and a tiny bit more damage. Like, I would add, like, 1/10 more damage, because they do, like, 80 at level 8. They do 79 to be exact. And they have 241. I think they need at least 300 hit points, and probably, yeah, I'd say 90 damage would seem more, because there's only 2 of them. It's not 3 of them. There's 2. So yeah, I'd definitely say the ones that need the buff, definitely the most, out of all the cards, would definitely be the Lava Hound. The Lava Hound definitely should have a buff. The Archer, I would definitely say needs a buff. The Royal Giant, I mean, I'm not going to say definitely does, but he just seems useless now. It just seems useless, and I don't really see a point of the card anymore. He just seems like garbage. He seemed way too overpowered before, but now he seems way too useless. I mean, the Wizard, I would say, needs a buff. I definitely say the guards need somewhat of a buff. The Baby Dragon. Okay, the main ones would definitely be the P.E.K.K.A., which is an epic. The Golem, which is an epic. The Baby Dragon, which is an epic. Do you see how many epics? And you probably agree, right? They need a buff, right? They're not good enough. No one seems to be using them. And then the Archers and Lava Hound. Lava Hound's a legendary. It's just kind of pathetic for a legendary. I still use it a lot, and it's the only legendary that I actually have on my level 9 account. But I'm still going to use it, but I definitely think it needs a buff, for sure. It definitely does. Lava Hound. I mean, all those were basically epics and a legendary, except for the Archers. But, I mean, if you guys disagree, you probably all do, but that's my personal opinion. And I just... The Baby Dragon, I think should... I mean, instead of, like, buffing its health or anything, I actually found what the buff needs for the Baby Dragon. It needs the buff of what it does on Clash of Clans. It should, instead of it having more health or anything, it should just do more damage. It should be better on its own, like on Clash of Clans. You know how it does way better on its own? I think that's the buff the Baby Dragon needs, don't you? I mean, it doing better on its own wouldn't make it crazily overpowered, because it's still going to do the exact same if there's other stuff around it, right? But it being on its own, that means you'll be able to take it out a lot faster, right? So, I mean, that definitely seems like the buff that the Baby Dragon needs. And the Golem, I think, needs a little bit more speed or a little bit more damage or something. P.E.K.K.A. swing faster. Yeah, there's just the Wizard more health. There's just simple little things that I think would make cards so much better and make this game a lot more of a variety. Instead of rarely seeing some cards being used, you'd be seeing every card be used a lot. by making them at least somewhat equal, because there's definitely cards that don't seem as equal. Like the archers, you probably think are pretty good, but I think they're pretty weak. Same with the lava hound. They definitely need buffs. I mean, at least make the lava pups do more damage or something. I mean, they are pretty good, but I think they don't do enough. They don't seem to. Something needs to change about these cards. Something needs to make them better. That's what I say. But I'm not the creators of the game. I'm still gonna be playing it so much, so it doesn't really matter to me. But that's my honest opinion, and no one really cares. But it's alright because I don't really get offended by what you guys care about. I mean, I get killed in Rainbow Six Siege all the time. I'm used to idiots, no offense. But I literally accidentally shot someone in my stream earlier, and he turned around and just killed me for it. I mean, he ran in front of my bullet. At least next time, like after that, a couple of rounds or something so after that. Yeah, it was like two rounds after that, I'm pretty sure. I accidentally shot the guy with the mic, but he did run in front of me, and he's like, yeah, I should have known better. So I'm sorry that I shot you, and thank you for understanding that I didn't mean to. That is an honest way that I respect. But the way that he just stepped, the guy beforehand stepped in front of me, they were both playing as IQ, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, IQ before that was a different person, stepped in front of me, and I shot them while I was trying to shoot someone through the wall that was killing my buddy. So I was trying to save our buddy, but because she walked in front of me because she's careless, she turns around and pops me in the head. And then in the next round, if you guys watch, she turns around and just starts shooting poor Tashanka, and then she ends up killing Frost. And I know that she's a punk, and I was really angry at her. I made some comments. They weren't totally inappropriate, but I should have kept my cool a little bit better, and I'm sorry about that. But I did not make a rage or anything, because I can control my anger. But I did go a little bit upset wanting to team kill her. I should have known better than to try and team kill her. And I'm sorry about that. I should not do what, if idiots do it, why would I go and be an idiot too? So I'm sorry about that, and I really hope that you guys enjoy some of my videos. And I know this one was pretty boring, but I will see you guys on the next one. Demon is gonna be back soon. Peace.